have to move the public discourse to another level. I think we have to move away from a sort of parochial, whinging, silo-based, view of the arts to a more sophisticated discussion about the importance and relevance of arts and culture. And while I recognise that, we're living in challenging times, we have global problems, we have conservative politics, we have competing interests. But having said that, I don't think now is the time to batten down the hatches. I actually think now is the time we need to be brave, and we need to challenge those Philistines and people masquerading as cultural gatekeepers and reframe the discourse. There's a lot of discussion about mainstreaming the arts, and I think the arts are already mainstream. So I think the challenge for us is to start talking in a way that makes sense to Jane and Joe public, and to start making some noise. When I was very little, 5 or 6, an astronaut. Clearly that didn't work out for me. And then around probably 11 or 12, a writer and filmmaker. And I still don't rule those out. A lot of luck, so being in the right place at the right time and taking opportunities when they came my way, but equally turning down opportunities if they didn't interest me or excite me. A lot of hard work, particularly early in my career, being prepared to work hard and get my hands dirty. Not having a grand plan. I've never been a person that had a linear career progression or 5 or 10 year plan. Surrounding myself with good people, particularly when I moved into management and leadership roles. I think you're only as good as the people that you have around you. Having the courage of my convictions, so trying to live my life with integrity, and sometimes that's difficult, but being prepared to stand up for things when I needed to. Having a sense of humour, probably one of the most important things, I think. And finally, I think I should acknowledge my parents, because I think I was the oldest of 3 girls, and my father in particular brought us up classic Irish Catholic working class background. We were to go out and get an education and make our mark, and he encouraged us to do whatever we thought we wanted to do. And I think he had 2 great sayings, and one was, if you don't ask, you don't get, and the second was, you're a long time dead looking up at the box. And I think that was really sage advice, and it's certainly served me well. I don't know about faltered, but one strong recollection I have was very early when I just finished my bachelor's degree, and I was being interviewed for a graduate program with IBM. This would be back in the 80s, and I had 2 male interviewers, and during the course of the interview they asked me, I was just recently married, and they asked me the question, did I plan on having any children? And I responded with, well, do you ask your male applicants that? And there was this stunned, shocked silence, and they really didn't know how to respond to that. And I knew at that moment I didn't want to work with them, and clearly I didn't get the job. My biggest passion is reading, particularly New Zealand and Australian fiction and poetry. So I always have 2 or 3 things on the go, and I manage to still knock off a novel a week. Art. My partner's an art restorer and sculptor, so we share that passion. So visual art is something that we're really engaged with. Yoga. I've been practicing for 15 years, and I'm still a novice. Travel, and also going down to the beach. That's where I really go to recharge and take time out. And I also love food and wine, particularly other people's, but also I love to cook too, particularly when I've got the time. No, I don't think that it should. I mean, a strategic plan should really just provide a framework for where you think you want to go and what you're trying to achieve. But I always think strategic plans they're like living organisms, so they grow and they change, and sometimes they reach their use-by date, and if that's the case, you need to throw them out and move on.